Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hello students, welcome to another video session from Karim's Biology. You knew that we are learning the lesson heredity. So the topic that I brought you today here for discussion is homozygous and heterozygous condition. So let us enter into the topic. So before we start our discussion, there are two words that you definitely have to understand. Try to remember that homo means the same and hetero means different. Look at again, homo means the same, hetero means different. So these are the two words, homo and hetero, that you have to learn, because you will come across these two words frequently when you learn genetics. Not only genetics, in biology, different topics when you learn, these are the words that you come across. So I hope that you remember these words. Now let us again enter into the topic. Homozygous and heterozygous are terms that are used to describe allele pairs. And I hope that you knew that the different versions of a gene are called alleles. And where are alleles present? Alleles are present on a pair of homologous chromosomes. So let me give you a brief understanding of what are homologous chromosomes. I told you that homologous chromosomes are a pair of chromosomes which are similar in their appearance, similar in the size, shape, and also similar in the genetic material that they contain. So let me tell you once again here. So male gamete, this is the male gamete, and just assume that the male gametes contain a chromosome and the female gamete also contains a chromosome. When they fuse together, they form a pair of homologous chromosomes. Look, now just by looking at this chromosome, can you tell me whether they are homologous or not? By looking at that, we may guess that these are the homologous chromosomes because they are appearing similar in their size and shape. But you need to understand what type of genes these two possess to confirm whether they are homologous or not. So let us see that in this chromosome, in the first chromosome, there is a gene called Y, and in the other chromosome also another version of same gene is present in the same place. Okay, there is one more gene, which is one more allele called small p is present, and in the same place of other chromosome also there is small p. Okay, now other allele is there which is capital A, and in the same place of other chromosome also there is capital A, and there is one more gene here, small r, and in the same place there is another version of same gene is there which is capital R. By looking at this picture, now I can confirm that these two are homologous chromosomes because they contain same genes but different versions. Okay, here it is the dominant version, it is the recessive version. Here both of them are recessive version. In this case, both of them are dominant versions, and in last one, small r, which is the recessive one, and capital R is the dominant version. So let us move on and find out what does it mean by homozygous condition. As I told you that homo means same and zygous means having genetic material. That means when both alleles present on the homologous chromosomes are same, that condition is called homozygous condition. So let me elaborate this by taking the example of a pair of homologous chromosomes here. What we can see here are the pair of homologous chromosomes, and just assume that the version that I have considered here for explanation is capital B, which is the dominant version of a gene B. Okay, and these are the homologous chromosomes, and this is the first chromosome in the homologous pair, and this is the second chromosome in the same pair. And what do you observe? In the first chromosome, there is a dominant version of a gene B present. In the second chromosome of the same pair of homologous chromosomes, same version of the gene which is the dominant B is present. Now I can say that in this pair of homologous chromosomes, both versions of gene are same. So I can say that the dominant version of gene B is present on both chromosomes. Then I can call this condition as homozygous condition, capital B, capital B. And I hope that you knew that when you represent an allele with a capital letter, that means it is a dominant allele, and when you represent an allele with a small letter, it is a recessive allele. Okay, and homozygous individuals can carry same versions of alleles, either dominant or recessive alleles, but not both at a time. So this is another thing that you need to remember, that once again look at this picture. Here both the versions of genes are dominant genes, and look at this one more example here. They are also a pair of homologous chromosomes, but the two versions of the gene are recessive genes. Here both of them are dominant versions of same gene. Here both of them are recessive versions of same genes. So homozygous individuals can carry same versions of alleles, either dominant capital B like in this case, or either they may have recessive allele small b like in this case. Now let us talk about heterozygous condition. It is opposite to homozygous condition. Hetero means different, zygous means having genetic material, and when both alleles present on the homologous chromosomes are different, then the condition is called heterozygous condition. So the definition is very clearly saying that two versions of the genes present in the homologous pair should be not same like previous case, but they should be different. Then that condition is called heterozygous condition. So once again I am showing the same pair of homologous chromosomes, but this time you can observe that in the first chromosome of this homologous pair, dominant version of a gene is present, whereas in the second chromosome of this homologous pair, recessive version, which is the small b, is present. Now I can call these two chromosomes as heterozygous individuals, and this condition can be considered as heterozygous condition because two different versions of a same gene are present in this pair. One is the dominant one and other one is the recessive one. Hence this is called heterozygous condition. Okay, and same pair of chromosomes I am showing again, but there is a slightest difference over here which you can observe. Look at that first pair. In the first pair, the first chromosome contains the dominant version of the allele, whereas in the second pair of chromosomes, the first chromosome contains the recessive one. Okay, here the second chromosome contains the recessive allele, whereas the second chromosome in this case contains dominant allele. I hope that you understand the difference between these two. So let us move on. Heterozygous individuals have both versions of alleles, that is one dominant and one recessive allele. I hope that it is clear for you that why this is called heterozygous condition, because one is the dominant version of a gene, other one contains the recessive version of same gene. So here the first chromosome contains the recessive version of the gene and next chromosome contains dominant version of same gene. Okay, so that's why this condition is called heterozygous condition. By this picture I think it is very clear for you that it is a pair here in which one is the dominant version, other one is the recessive version, and in this pair first one is the recessive version, other one is the dominant version of the same gene. So this condition is called heterozygous condition. So let us now discuss how the homozygous individuals are formed. First we will be discussing about how the homozygous dominant is formed. You know that in a pair of homologous chromosomes, one you will be getting from your father and one you will be getting from your mother. So I am representing two gametes here. So this is the male gamete, which is, imagine that it is the sperm. It consists of a chromosome having a dominant version of the gene, and this is the female gamete, which is ovum. In this also it contains same version of gene, which is the dominant one. And you know that during the time of fertilization both of the gametes fuse together and they result in the formation of zygote. Now tell me, what is the condition of this zygote now? Is it in homozygous condition or heterozygous condition? So this zygote is in homozygous condition because it is the dominant version and the other chromosome in the pair also contains the dominant version. So I can say this is homozygous. As both of them are dominant alleles, I can call this zygote is in homozygous dominant condition. Now there is a question for you. How many chromosomes are there in a human cell? How many chromosomes are there in a human cell? If you knew the answer, you please write the answer in the comment box. And I want chromosome number in pairs. How many pairs of chromosomes are there in a human cell? So let's move on to the next slide. In this slide, we are going to talk about formation of homozygous recessive. Now look at the condition of gametes in this case. This is the male gamete, consists of a recessive allele. This is the female gamete, consists again same recessive allele, which is small b. Here also recessive allele is there, small b, and in female gamete also there is a recessive allele, small b, present on the chromosome. And when fertilization happens, when the zygote is formed, these two chromosomes will be going into a zygote. Now can you tell me what is the condition of zygote? Okay, it is apparent from the observation that the condition of zygote will be homozygous condition, but is it dominant one or recessive one? In this case, both alleles are recessive alleles. It is small b which is recessive allele, and it is the same version which is recessive. So I can call this as homozygous recessive condition. So the next slide is about the formation of heterozygous condition. Like I said before, male gamete and female gamete, but did you notice the difference here? The male gamete here consists of a dominant version of gene, whereas the female gamete consists of recessive version of same gene. So during fertilization, the zygote will be receiving 2 chromosomes. They form a homologous pair, and when they form a pair, we see in that pair one of the allele is the dominant one and other allele is the recessive allele. Here one is the dominant version of a gene, other one is the recessive version of same gene. So it is a heterozygous condition. I can call this as heterozygous condition because both the alleles are not same. So there is one more question coming for you. Why are dominant and recessive alleles so called? If you knew the answer, write the answer in the comment box. I will be waiting for your answers. So I hope that I have made this concept clear for you about heterozygous and homozygous condition. Thank you very much for watching this video.